10 things that might have you questioning all sorts of stuff. It's Tinfoil Tuesday.
So if you like exposing truth and dropping truth bombs, then welcome to Tinfoil Tuesday.
I want the truth!
Well, a big Shazam to you people. I got 10 things for you here on Tinfoil Tuesday that might send you into different directions that have you questioning a lot. You might not, maybe that was hyperbolic. You might not question everything, but you should. At least I believe so. This is going to be a fun episode. I had a good time getting it ready for you. I've got a list of 10, and I think a lot of y'all, some of you aren't going to like my number one. Stick around and see what you think. Today's episode is brought to you by CMMG. They are rock solid with a rock solid warranty. Do me a favor, when you get yours in, whether it's a Descent, an Endeavor, a Resolute, or a Banshee, that's my favorite, take a pic and send it to me. Email it. I love when y'all send me pictures of your new Banshees, and you get things that help you protect your family. Heaven forbid if the worst happens. At CMMG, use that coupon code right there. Tell them I sent you. You people, thanks for every thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. When I saw Building 7 come down years and years later, I don't remember that during the coverage of that terrible day, but years later when I was discovering how it came down on its own, no fire, no plane, no nothing, no rockets, no missile, nothing, it just comes down. That was a big red pill for me, and I was telling my son the other day that I think that should be the red pill for everybody, and he said, no. He said, Dad, we all lived through the era. That's the big one. And this weekend, I was kind of reassessing things that have sent me down different rabbit trails, and I've got 10 for you. I think a lot of y'all aren't going to like number one. Some of you won't like number one, but I think a lot of you will find something in here that makes you question something. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Johnny, do you question everything? I'm like, heck yes, I do. There are some things that are set and solid. But I think a lot of things, especially in our culture and in our country, question everything. Number one, this is an easy one. Number 10, this is an easy one. Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1620, when the Pilgrims hit what would be the United States, or soon to be, that's what they tell kids. Oh, there was nobody here but a few peace pipe smoking Indians, and the Pilgrims show up with the flu. And of course, they were in black and white, which is not true. That was the Quakers. But the day that they hit Plymouth Rock, you could already walk down Main Street, shop in a mercantile, eat in a restaurant, and stay at a hotel in Santa Fe, what would become Santa Fe, New Mexico. Yeah, Europeans were already here doing all sorts of stuff. We teach children lies. I get it. I know we do. We teach children lies in school. Number 9. This one is a 404 not found on the White House currently, but I have chased it. I have deep dived it. In September of 21, Biden issued his law and mandate. Y'all remember this day? That was the day where all federal employees had to get the jab, and all businesses over 100 people had to get the jab. Number 9, the entire legislative branch, including the House and the Senate, were excluded from that. Now, you can chase it. Here's what's interesting for me. Y'all know I like Grok 4. I like ChatGPT. It's interesting. I use Google AI also. And when you start chasing things, they are all of them, including the holy Grok, all of them will steer you into a narrative that it is programmed to do. This one's hard to find. I have found it. They excluded themselves. It's verified over and over. Number 8. This one, work with me. This is traditional conspiracy theory stuff, but it's a place called Laurel Canyon. Here's an article, and I didn't write down where it's from. Was the 1960s Laurel Canyon a CIA psyop? You look into Laurel Canyon in the 60s, you're going to go down rabbit trails that's going to get into MK Ultra and hippies doing murder and all sorts of nonsense, including this guy, Jim Morrison, and he lived there. Very influential. How did he get to be so influential? Who was his father? His father was the admiral at the Gulf of Tonkin incident. You're also going to get a hold of this guy, Charlie Manson, who, if things had gone differently, he might have been Jim Morrison or some variation. You can find more about that in the book Chaos by Tom O'Neill. What went on in Laurel Canyon, which was CIA and all sorts of PSYOP stuff, and again, MK Ultra, it is wild. Number 7, I don't know a lot about this. This one is on this list, the one that I know the least about, but I'm also super curious of. The surprising link between the Grand Canyon and ancient Egypt, that's Smithsonian. They're going to kind of deny that. What we do know is massive amounts of the Grand Canyon are closed to the public. You can't fly over it. You can't go into it. It's not to protect artifacts. There is something going on since the 1920s that links it to Egyptian artifacts. It gets wild. Everything I've heard about this one is wild. Number 6, in the same way that the Congress and the Senate have excluded themselves from the vaccine, they have also excluded themselves from the U.S. draft. This is U.S. Code 50, Section 3806, concerning deferments and exemptions from training and service. If you are an elected official in the legislation, you don't have to go to war. I find that to be a problem, a big, big problem. I know that during the early 2000s, we were all about the Spartans, and I get that, but there's something to be said for ancient Greece and the Peloponnese and the way that their leaders went to battle first. Boy, how would it be different if our leaders who bang the drum about going to the Middle East or sending money to the military-industrial complex, they had to go on the front line? I think that would be fabulous. All right, this one's a lot of fun. Number 5, the Nazca lines, or the Nazca lines. They're in Peru. They were recently, fairly recently discovered, last 100 years, and they can only be seen from space. I don't have a lot to say. I've read a lot about them. They're super interesting, and every current explanation makes zero sense to me. The Nazca lines. Chase that one if you will. All right, number 4. This one's wild. I believe this, and y'all know the continuation of what I believe from things I know that I know to things that I have no idea about in the middle. Y'all know the joke. It's Big Mike's weenie. One thing I sort of believe is that Nikola Tesla was communing with something else, whether he was getting it from the angels or it was too far. There's been a few people through human history that supersede on a level that shouldn't be able to be done. I think maybe I'm 50.1% thinking that whatever it is, he had something that nobody else had. After he died, his papers went missing. Who got his papers? Type that one in. Question of the day. I'm going to tell you in a second. Some of y'all know this. After he passed away, Tesla's papers were picked up by Donald Trump's uncle. Yep, Donald Trump's uncle. You can chase that one all you want. Number 3. All right, I didn't want to do 9/11 too much today. That's too easy. I can't get past that. We're talking about things that'll make you question everything. Maybe number 3 should be number 1. The fact that they found 4 of the hijackers' passports after 9/11. Yeah, one happened to be in a suitcase. This is directly from, I don't remember which report this one. I think this is from the main 9/11 report, but this is super official. Ms. Susan Ginsburg, beginning with passports. 4 of the hijackers' passports have survived in whole or in part. 2 were removed from the crash site of United Airlines Flight 93 in Pennsylvania. These are the passports of and one belonged to a hijacker on American Airlines Flight 11. This is the passport of a passerby picked it up and gave it to the NYPD. All right, stop. That plane goes in. Allegedly, I get it. There's questions about it, but it goes in and a passport flutters to the ground. Somebody picks it up and goes, ooh, what is this? And hands it to the NYPD. Also, the one in Pennsylvania, that record is there's problems with that. We're not chasing 9/11 day. They found 2 there. And then they find one to continue this. A 4th passport was recovered from the luggage that did not make it from a Portugal flight to Boston onto the connecting flight, which was American Airlines Flight 11. All right, those of y'all that have traveled internationally, I have a little bit. Name me an international traveler that doesn't carry their passport on their person. All 3 of these situations, 4 passports total. I don't want to chase it too much today. This is probably the worst thing that was said after 9/11. This is probably the worst, that we're supposed to believe that. And we find these passports from and then go invade Afghanistan where the poppy fields are. All right, let's get out of there and head towards something fun. Number 2, and it's called the Wandjina. I had to go look that up. The Wandjina. It's the Wandjina. They are drawings that are really old, really old, thousands of years old, maybe 2,000 years old. out of the northern part of Australia, and they're awfully wild looking. The Aboriginal people call these the Wandjina, and they are light beings or beings from the sky or sky beings or sky people that have come from the Milky Way. That's a wild one. And they're all over the place there. There's a lot of different depictions. There's some that are very, very consistent, and that is wild. But then you jump over to the Americans, the Americas, and the Anasazi people, and they've got some similar looking beings. These are from the Anasazi. And then you get down into Italy or over into Italy, the Valcamonique astronauts. And you can chase this, and you're going to see the light things coming out or the lines coming out, some with things over their heads, some without. But you're going to see a lot of beings that have eyes that are too big. Nowhere in the history of people drawing each other do they look like that, except for aliens. And that is a wild one. All right, runner up. This is, I think, something that doesn't get talked about enough. Is that this one right here is just from 2023. I know I'm all over the place today, but I love this stuff. Runner up that I think should red pill a lot of people is, and academic papers are not that fun to talk about. Most of y'all have probably never been to Google Scholar. I've been there about 6,000 times. Google Scholar is not that fun. Juror articles are not that fun. Peer review anything, not that fun, so it doesn't get talked about. This is just in the year 2023 from Nature magazine. More than 10,000 research papers were retracted in 2023, a new record. Since then, it has gone, I won't say exponentially up, but it has gone even steeper. I have found some that says up to 40,000 last year in 2024. These are articles that were written, submitted to their peers, published in their journals or whatever they are, and they're published out there, documented into the body of knowledge, and then after the stuff came out, they had to retract them. This is, I think, evidence of one of the biggest lies in the history of humanity. What was perpetrated on us, I think it might have been a test run for Project 2050, a story for another day. Here's my favorite. I know some people may not like this, but some of y'all will. Let me know which one got your attention the most today. It's 10 things that might make you question everything. Number one is Ezekiel from the Christian Old Testament. It's Ezekiel's vision. It's called the wheel. I'm not reading the actual verse. This is a summation. In Ezekiel's vision, the wheel within a wheel described a complex intersecting structure of two perpendicular wheels, creating a single mobile unit that could move in any of four directions without turning. This vision, seen with the four living creatures and representing God's divine glory, symbolizes God's omnipresence, omniscience due to the eyes on the rims, and it goes on from there. A few years ago, there was a survey that went around that talked about how often American men think about the Roman Empire, and women were shocked that it's like once a day up to 2 or 3 times a week, or down to 2 or 3 times a week. Guys think about the Roman Empire all the time. I think about Ezekiel's wheel probably every day of my life. It fascinates me. What the heck is it? I do believe it was literal. I think a lot of things about it. That's 10 things that make me question a whole lot. Again, let me know what your favorite one is down below. It's Tinfoil Tuesday.
Welcome to Tinfoil Tuesday. We hope you sing along.
You want answers? Diabetes.